What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Kicking It Back with Matt. Typically, we're always talking about pros, English Premier League, Champions League, MLS, all that good stuff. We thought this week we change it up a little bit, bring in a college student athlete, somebody that I'm pretty sure is one of our first coaches. Taylor, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
How was work today?
It was good. Went really fast. Yeah.
Busy? Slow?
Yeah. Very busy.
So I haven't connected with you in a while. And before we get into your career, what professional team, if any, do you follow?
I mean, I've obviously followed like the US like women's and men's national team, but like I like to follow like AC Milan because of Christian Pulisic because I like him as a player.
So. Oh, Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you watch them regularly, just when he's on and you can see it?
Just like I like tape most of their games, so I don't catch them live all the time. So sometimes I'll just like watch the highlights and stuff.
He's having a good run over there.
Yeah.
He's better off there than he was definitely in England playing for Chelsea.
Yeah, 100%.
What and this will be a two-part question. So what draws you to him as, a male soccer player?
I don't know. I feel like he's like really like he's very technical, which I always like strive to get better at like a player personally. And I don't know, he obviously plays a different position than I do. So that's also interesting, like seeing like a different perspective off of that. But yeah.
And he's the face of the US men's team, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, so part two of the question from the women's side. Who's your girl? Who's your lady?
I like Horan. Like Lindsay Horan. I don't know. She played like the 6 for a while, and I also played that kind of. So I tried to like identify myself with her in some aspects.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So now that we get that out of the way, let's go back in time. Right? I was talking with your dad, and I think I was like your first soccer coach.
Yeah.
Right? When your dad and I formed the Rage.
Yeah.
So when you were younger, was your aspiration, was it always to say, I want to play in college? Like, what was your goal? Like, when we first started out as the Rage, what did you envision your soccer career to be?
I guess just to like continue as just like a child, because I really enjoyed just being able to just like go out into the field and play with all my friends. And I really didn't know I wanted to play college soccer until like really late into high school, which is kind of odd for me. But I always knew like I wanted to continue it, but I wasn't sure like how far into my career.
So through all those years, I know like you went from the Rage, then you kicked over to PDA, right?
Yeah.
You played PDA for a year or two.
Yeah.
So what did you have to do in order to get seen by college coaches? Tell me a little bit about the recruiting process and how that worked. Did the schools find you? Did you find the schools?
It was like a mix of both. Because I feel like with PDA, they do a lot of like showcases and like places where you can get seen by college coaches. But before we like go to those showcases, I did a bunch of research of like the coaches that would be at them. And then I would like go and like email them, be like, hey, I'm playing on this field at this time. Like, I'd really like if you can like come check me out. And then I would like hear back from some of them, like get some emails back being like, hey, I really liked your game, blah, 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 and all that stuff.
So did you get a lot of feedback from those emails saying, hey, Taylor, yes, we're going to be at that event, that showcase. We're going to come and watch you play?
Yeah.
Or like, were you at the showcase and running around and seeking these coaches out to like try to get their ear and get them to pay attention to you?
Yeah, it was more like I got a couple emails back. I didn't email too many schools because I know I didn't want like to go to D1. So I kind of kept it more like D2, D3. And then they would like email me back, and but like nothing really took place like at the field. Like I didn't even know they were there. Like it kind of was just like out of mind, out of sight because I was like so nervous.
So interesting that you said that. Why didn't you want to consider Division One?
Um, I don't know. I feel like Division 1 is very like very sport oriented. Like obviously like I love soccer, but I'm also doing this to come out with like a career. Like I'm not going to like some major league like sports team. Like it's more for like a career at the end of this, but also to have like that hobby of soccer and to like continue playing that.
And I would think because Lila,
Yeah.
you know, same predicament, right? It's like
Hmm.
you want to play.
Yeah.
You don't want to. You don't want to put in all the time, all the effort, all the energy from. I mean, heck, I think you were 6 years old when I started coaching you.
Yeah. Something like that.
So from 6 until 18, 12 years of the grind, and you know me, like I was always about the grind and
Hmm.
doing the work. And then when Amy took over, etc., you don't want to put in all that time, effort, energy to go and sit on the bench for 1, 2, possibly 3 years to get an
Yeah.
opportunity to play. So yeah, you and Lyle, you're playing different sports in college, you're in the same conference,
Yeah.
but it's the same mentality as you have a career choice in your mind right now that you want to do, but at the same time, you also want to play a sport and participate in a sport that you love,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So it kind of makes it easier. So you're at Georgian Court University.
Correct.
What led you to go there?
Mostly because of like the distance, I feel like, because I'm very close with my family, and obviously, like, I want my parents to be able to like come to all my home games, and like the conference we're in, we don't go too far, also, so I'd be able to like have them travel to like New York or like Connecticut or something that's like close, and I can go home on the weekends if I get homesick. So,
Yeah, they can go out to Philly,
mhm.
Chestnut Hill, right?
Yeah, yep.
Holy Family, Thomas Jefferson, and I don't know any of this, so please, tell me, share what you want, share what don't share what you don't want. But like during that recruiting process, was there multiple offers on the table?
Um, there I was looking at a couple places, but really the only like place that I really wanted to go was Georgian Court. Like I kind of knew that. So I really didn't reach out much to other coaches. Like I knew if I got into Georgian Court, I was going to go there no matter what. So I
Okay.
really didn't have too many offers.
And when did you commit to them? Junior year, senior year?
I think it was my I think it was my senior year, like the beginning of senior year.
Okay. Yeah, for Lila, what's crazy is we met her coach
Hmm.
through a verbal conversation. Lila ended up going and guest playing for him 2 days later,
Okay.
and she was committed to that school a month and a half later. And it's the
Oh
only
wow.
school. It's the only school she even applied to because she just knew that the coach and the program was the right fit for her.
Hmm.
So, with that being said, if you were dialed in on going to Georgian Court, would it have been easy to say yes, I'm going there if you didn't have the chemistry with the coach? Like, what is your chemistry with the coach?
I love my coach. Obviously, there's always like that little like love hate relationship type thing, but he strives like really well to make the team like a family. Like he's always like you can be a good soccer player, but it's even like better to have that like relationship with your players and your coach. So I really liked that. That also drew me into it really like a lot. So
And let's be honest, having that comfortable level with your coach, the communication, forget about the passion for the game, but caring
mhm.
about you ladies as players
Yeah.
has to make it easier for you guys to do your job. Because let's be honest, you're being paid. You're
Hmm.
getting an athletic scholarship. So you're being paid to do this. And it's a
Yeah.
grind. It's a lot of work. So like that, and that's why Lila ended up where she ended up, and was when she found that coach, she goes, "This is the guy that's right for me and
Mhm.
to help me." And it's the same thing for her. It's it's a tight knit family that we have, so that makes it that much easier. So getting into your grind, like when does preseason start for the fall?
We start like mid to late August. Like when we moved in freshman year, we moved in August 12th, and then like this year, the season was pushed back a week, so we moved in the 17th. But it's around the same like ballpark, like mid.
So your preseason, how many weeks, how many scrimmages before you guys go live?
It's usually like 2 weeks of like twice a day practices, and then I think we have like 2 to 3 scrimmages, and then we just kick it off like first week of school.
So what's that, like the first week of September?
Yeah.
Man, you guys are lucky. That's
Hmm.
short.
Yeah.
Lila's in her freshman year. Her first day of practice was February 15th. Her
Wow.
first game wasn't until February 27th. And
Wow.
they had three scrimmages in between. So they had an entire month of just the grind.
Yeah.
Here we are today, right? Like today's the 17th.
Hmm.
She's 3 months in. She's got another month to go.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I know your schedule because I know the conference, obviously, because
Hmm.
my son Henry played at Felician in the CACC. Lila's in the CACC. But like, what's it like when have you been on the road to post yet?
Yes.
Okay. So like, how long did that take you to get there?
Um, Usually the bus drivers aren't that good, so they always make wrong turns, but it really depends. Like sometimes it was like 2.5, maybe 3 hours. Like it really just like depended on the hour and what time the game was.
You and I'm going to assume that you didn't spend the night.
No.
So you're driving 3 hours on a bus, and
Hmm.
I know that the bus experience isn't always great. And like you just said, to your point, the bus driver gets lost. And I know that from specifically from Lila on Saturday, the guy got lost 7 times
Oh my god.
and took them forever to get home from Philly. So, how do you mentally prepare to step out onto the pitch and be ready to play in competition when you've been sitting on that bus ride? Like, what are the thoughts that go through your mind? What motivation or what techniques do you use to get prepared while you're on that lousy bus?
Yeah, that's like probably like the hardest part of it. Like sitting on a bus for however many hours and going and having to play like a hour and a half game and then knowing you have to get back on the bus. But usually I'll do homework just to like, I don't know, just like get my mind going. And then when we get like a certain like distance away, like 30 minutes, like an hour, I'll just like put my headphones on and kind of just like shut the world out and really just lock in and just like imagine myself being there and like what I have to do. But yeah, that's like the only
So,
thing.
so what happens if you have class that day and you have to miss classes because you've got to take this 3 hour bus ride to go to a game?
Yeah, thank God like the teachers and professors at my school are very like lenient with all that stuff. Like we just like email them the day before and like, hey, we have a game. I'm not gonna be able to make class. Like if there's any like work I'm missing, like please like let me know. Like I'll do it as soon as possible. And then I also have a lot of friends in my classes. Like that was also one of my big things is to have someone in the class that I can like ask like what I missed. And they're really chill with it. They're like, hey, just get in like whenever you can, like no rush, because it's a very like sport oriented school. I'd say like very like commuter, so they're like used to it.
And you just make up the work when you need
Mhm.
to. So like
Yeah.
what happens if you have like a quiz or an exam that day?
Yes, some of the professors will exempt you from the quiz. Like one of my one teacher, he just was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't have to make it up." But if there's like an exam or something, it's we have to like meet with them like for office hours and then like take it then with just like us two like in a room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're at the end of your sophomore year.
Hmm.
So tell me your progression from the first day you stepped on campus for preseason. Tell me how that first collegiate preseason went. What was your experience? Was it what you expected, not expected, how tough it was, ba 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 ba. And then I want to hear your story of how you've grown, not only playing time, but as a player in your skills and experience. Tell me how that has progressed from that first step on campus to where you are now.
Yeah, I was terrified like going to school freshman year. Like I'm not a very social person. So like I was scared I wasn't gonna make any friends. I was scared I wasn't gonna like play or like connect with the coaches. Um, but like once I went there and realized that like all of my fears were just completely wrong about everything, then I like got to make friends. I got to really connect with the coaches. And then this year, because of my comfortability level and stuff, like even my coaches tell me this like all the time. They're like, you are so much more comfortable now, and it shows on the field. Like I play so much better, like compared to like freshman year to now. Because I didn't play much. Like maybe I'll play like 5 minutes here and there, like get like some touches. But now like in our scrimmages, like I'm playing like almost the whole game, which is really good. So
So where are you? Are you playing where you've always played?
yeah, I'm a center back right now.
Okay. So when you get to campus and you start that preseason and you're feeling overwhelmed, and are you questioning whether you belong there or not?
I definitely did freshman year. Like I had a lot of conversation with my parents like I don't know if I can do this. Like it was really mentally tough on me. But then I just like stuck it out and like best decision ever. Like I love it. Like I wouldn't change it.
So because I've known you for a lot of your youth career, and I know the prominent role that you played with the Rage, and I don't know the role you played with PDA,
Mhm.
but why would you ever second guess yourself that if you could play at the Division II level of soccer? Because the Taylor I knew from 5, 6 years old up until when the Rage broke apart in high school, there was never a confidence problem.
Mhm.
And you were always one of the leaders, right? Taking
Yeah.
free kicks, you have that huge, big throwing. So, like, I'm just curious, just to get into your mind a little bit, and to see why that wouldn't carry over to the next level. Yeah, you were a big fish in maybe a little pond, right?
Mhm.
Growing up, and now you're a little fish in a little pond type of mentality, but you always had it. So I'm
Yeah.
just curious as to why that would switch in your mind and make you think. Is it just because, oh, I'm going away to college and it's because it's college? What is it that made you think that way?
Yeah. I mean, I guess like having like that title of being like a college athlete was always like in the back of my mind, being like I'm competing against all these like seniors who are like 22, 23, and I'm literally 18 years old walking onto campus for the first time. Like I have never done anything on my own, and like comparing myself to these players, being like wow, like I'm really like not good compared to them. And then I real like had to really get that out of my mind and be like I'm here for a reason, and like the coach chose me. Like I know I can do it, which really is what I carried over from freshman to sophomore year.
And that's exactly my point is when you're playing, I don't care whether it's D1, D2, D3. If a coach zeroes in on you and
Mhm.
they really want you and they want you to come and be part of their program, in their mind, they think you have the stuff,
Yeah.
right? But
Mhm.
the biggest hurdle, and I could talk to your parents about this, and I know it from me being a parent of a collegiate athlete, it can be very overwhelming for you as the student athlete and always question and say, do I belong?
Yeah.
And you can sign that NIL paper, you can do whatever, but until you find your right moment to fit in and say, I know I belong here, it's tough. And you're 18 years old and you're living away from home from the first time. You're potentially sharing a dorm room with somebody else and you've never shared a room before.
Mhm.
So it can be, you know, and then bring in your academics,
Yeah.
right? So it can be mentally like over the top. So when was that moment that you knew and you said, I belong here? I know I can compete here, I can play here, and this is where I belong. Well, when was that moment?
It was probably like the first time I ever stepped foot on a field, like in an actual game, because like I had my coach choose out of like 20 subs or however many we had and was like, I want you to go out there. So it really like was like, okay, like if he thinks I can do it, like I know I can do it.
All right. So, not to, was it garbage time? Was it meaningful time in a
It was
game? Like, was it an important game?
it was actually it wasn't super important, but it was definitely like one of the better teams we played, and not a lot of people went in. Like usually, like if like the whole bench went in, I would have been like, okay, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But like I went in out of like maybe five other subs who don't usually go in, which was kind of cool. So
Yeah, that's important. That
yeah,
it's very important. Like so, like with Lila. Lila is one of two freshmen out of 13 freshmen that play, and she plays
wow,
every game.
wow.
So it doesn't matter the amount of time that she
Mhm.
gets. It's she's getting in every game,
Yeah,
right? They're playing the number 3 ranked team in the country. She's playing. They're playing the number 17th ranked team in the country. She's playing. And I always tell her that's what matters as long as the coach keeps calling your name.
yep.
So to go off of that, now you're in your first game. What are you thinking? Are you thinking, please, ball, don't come to me? What am I going to do when I get the ball? Like, what's your thought process? Now you're going onto the field in your first collegiate game. And like you just said, it's not the end of the world game
Mhm.
that you absolutely need, but it's somewhat important. What's going through your mind?
Literally all of those things you just said. Like I was like, I don't want to. I'm gonna mess up. Like that's the first thing. I was like, I'm gonna get the ball. I'm gonna score in the wrong net. Like, and then I got it, and I was like, I've been playing soccer since I was literally 4 years old. Like, you can make mistakes, and this is my first game ever at the college level. Like, you know what you're doing. Like, you're fine. So I literally had to like talk myself down. I was like, you're fine. You got this. Calm down. And then it was fine. I actually played pretty well. So
And then how soon after you got on the pitch did you get your first touch?
Um, I think the first game I played in, I was actually playing forward. So it was it was a couple minutes in. It wasn't like right away, but it wasn't like
Wait a minute. Your first collegiate game and you've been a defender all your life and
mhm.
you're up on the forward line?
Yeah. That,
What are you thinking? Like what
that
forget about what I just said. What are you going to do? Like I'm talking to you as Taylor the defender.
yeah.
Now you're telling me you're playing on attack. So
Yeah.
your mind has to be going nuts. It's got to be even worse
Mhm.
because at least as a defender, you're like, okay, I can just wall up the ball, kick it as far as I can, I
Yeah.
can kick it out of bounds. So that had to be even more stressful on you.
Yeah. It definitely was because I'm not a forward like at all, but my coach just kept putting me there because I guess he wanted to see me like get time, but he already had like his back line kind of like set up, and he didn't want to like mess that up. Um, but again, like in forward, there's not too much pressure compared to defense, because I feel like defense, you make one mistake, they could score a goal off of it. I feel like in forward, you're just not going to score. So I feel like in my case, that kind of helped me, like to play there for the first time, being like, okay, there's not really too much pressure on this.
So
But
do you remember your first collegiate touch? Like, what did you do with the ball when you first touched it?
um, I don't remember. Honest, I think
You
I
got to
don't know.
remember your first collegiate touch, Taylor.
I
Come on.
know. I think I don't. I was like center forward, so I think I played it out wide somewhere. But
All
yeah,
right. So during your time as a forward, did you bang any goals?
no, I almost did, but I did not. It was close.
Any assists?
I don't think so.
Okay. So freshman year, fall ball's done. Tell me how the spring goes. When do you guys start up? How many weeks? How many games? How many practices do you guys get into?
So after like we get back from winter break in like at the end of January, he gives us like a week to 2 weeks to like settle into like our new classes. So we don't start back up until like February sometime. But in February into like March, it's more of like the weight room. And then if it's like a nice day out, we'll like go outside on like the grass for like an hour and a half. But our weight room is like weight room groups. So like depending when your classes is like when you would be in the weight room. There's like usually 2 times a day. And then Friday mornings we always had like early morning practice out on the turf, even if it was freezing out. But we'd be out there for like 2 hours because no one really has Friday classes at my school, and like that would get like the whole team together. We last year we played only I think one scrimmage. We meant to have more, but they like all kept getting canceled. But this year we I think have like 4 or 5, which is good.
And you're not are you playing non-conference? You
Yeah,
playing
we
conference
played.
teams?
We play a lot of like the D3s right now. Like we just played Montclair. We play Stockton next weekend. Um, and then we're doing like this round robin also next weekend. We're playing Caldwell, which is in our conference. We're playing Rutgers, Newark, who's also in our conference. Well, out of conference, but like our
Well,
division.
but division.
Um, and then some other team I forget. That's not in our conference.
So you're going to get a good run of games this
Mhm.
spring. So we fast forward. You started out playing as a striker, and now take me to your sophomore year. You're not playing striker anymore, are you?
Nope. No, I'm not.
Where are you?
No. Center back. He figured that's the best position for me. So
So did you earn a starting spot for your sophomore year, or are you coming off the bench playing good minutes? Like how did the sophomore year go? Like what was the progression?
I didn't start my sophomore year because none of our back line like graduated. So I was still on the bench, but I definitely played a lot more minutes this year and like against like good teams. Like we were tied 0-0 playing like Bridgeport, and he would like throw me in for like 30 minutes. Like that I remember that game. That was a good game. And then he like called me off like after the game. I was like he kept saying like I'm climbing the tree of trust, and like saying like he can actually trust me to like go out there and like do my job and actually play well, which I thought was huge. So
That's good because it shows
yeah.
that your progression and it's
Mhm.
I don't know your coach, but from what you're telling me, I can already tell you I like him.
Yeah.
And he seems similar to Lila's lacrosse coach, and it's very similar to how I was a coach. And even though like I coached you when you were from 6 to 10 years old, it was to always try to find a way to motivate and continue to push you because there's always a next level, right, that you can get
Mhm.
to. And it doesn't have to be from a skill or a talent perspective. It has to be the mental toughness and fortitude to always push on and get better and grow, and not grow as a player, but grow as a person.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is so important. And yeah, you always want to win. You know, your dad and I, we always wanted to win, but
Hmm.
the ultimate focus was to make you guys tough mentally, tough physically, and always to have the ability to work through things to get better.
Yeah.
And I think when you get to college, you have to have all those things because you can get to that next level and you can cave under the academic, the athletic, the time management, right? All those areas and just say, screw it, I'm going to give up. But it takes a special someone to continue to go
Hmm.
on.
Yeah.
And that's what's so great about it because freshman year, right? You're like, what am I doing playing forward?
Yeah.
Coach Matt, Coach Amy never played me at forward, and I'm on a collegiate field and I'm playing forward. But that mindset should be is coach says, hey Taylor, you're going in, and your response shouldn't be, oh, I'm going in on the back line. It's
Mhm.
coach, just put me in. Like
Yeah.
I'll contribute. I'll figure out a way to help the team, help the program. Right. And that's what's
Yeah.
so cool. And now you've built up to this time. And now I hope that you know that when some of these upperclassmen graduate, you're going to slide in and you're going
Mhm.
to be that next one.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you feel and think now?
Yeah, I do.
And like, is that going to come to fruition next year? Like, is anybody on that back line graduating this spring?
Yeah, the entire back line is graduating. Like our whole starting lineup is gone. And my coach like pretty much told me like you got it. Like just don't lose it. Like you can do it. And I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
next year you're up.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
number's up. So what you've got to do between now and then is what?
Um I just work on myself and like know that I can do it. Like actually like go into next year being like I've earned this spot. Like I can do this. I know I can. My coach has confidence in me. My teammates have confidence in me. Like just have confidence in yourself.
Well, you've certainly earned it,
Yeah.
but now you just got to program it into your mind
Mhm.
that again, I'm the next number up. It's I don't want to say it to be selfishly that it's my time, but you know that you now have a full purpose and role on this team, and the team's going to be counting on you in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to become part of that starting back line, which is awesome. Kudos to you. I'm so happy
Mhm.
for you.
Thank you.
I love having a former player continue to play. Um, but you just got to keep working at it and working at it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
honestly, I think at this point, and it's the same thing I say to Lila, it's more up here than it is in your case with your foot,
Yeah.
Lila's case with her stick. It's the mental aspect
100%.
and figuring out how that all goes together. Um, you know, I don't know if you feel like your freshman year was a roller coaster,
Hmm.
and if you felt like you were left out at some times, or you felt like you weren't good enough. Like, did you? You must have felt that way, right?
Yeah.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just it's the mentality of working through that and saying, "Hey, I'm a collegiate athlete. Like, I've made it here. I belong here." And you just keep working and working and working,
Hmm.
and then it's just the grind, right?
Yeah.
Of putting all that in. So when do you like? How much more time you have left in school for this semester?
We have 3 more weeks, like 2 full weeks and then finals.
And then does coach give you? I'm assuming he's giving you some type of off-season program.
Yeah, he always gives us like a packet to do over the summer, like stuff to do like on our own, like in the gym or like running stuff.
And are you playing over the summer? Like, are
Yeah,
you playing for like any adult teams?
I'm on a Tom's River team with a couple girls from my college team actually, and my one friend, you know Izzy, right? Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad coaches it, and I'm on his team.
Okay, and then so like, how much do you play over the summer?
We usually do practice like once a week, and then games like weekends. It's not nothing crazy, but it's just to keep us on the ball and not be lazy.
Because that's what's important, right? You got
Yeah.
to always keep and have that touch.
Hmm.
Um, just trying to think of what else I want to ask you before we go. I appreciate you so much for coming on.
Of course.
You've done great. Um, what are your plans? I don't even know what you're majoring in. What are your plans for after you graduate?
Right now I'm majoring in medical imaging. So the goal is to become a cardiac sonographer
What
in the
is that?
hospital. It's like it's God, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like where you take pictures of like the heart and you like see if they're like have like a type of heart disease or something. It's hard to
I
explain. Like,
I got
yeah,
you. So
yeah,
so something similar to like an MRI, but it's just
yeah.
specific to the heart.
It's like ultrasound type of like radiology and stuff.
What led you to that?
Um, I always wanted something in the medical field, and when I looked like the majors and stuff at my school, like this program is like kind of like a dual enrollment with Rutgers. So it's kind of like I can be in and out in 4 years and like then have my major and I don't have to go to school for like 10 plus. That was my biggest thing.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you're on track to graduate on time. I know you are
Mhm.
because I know you and your sisters. You guys are complete academic freaks.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, Taylor, thanks for coming on. Thanks for kicking it.
Nice.
Appreciate it. To all the listeners and fans, follow us Twitter, Instagram. We'll see you all next week.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark.